Have you ever stared at a line item on a bank statement and felt the world tilt on its axis? Mine was a charge for $4,800 from a boutique jeweler in the Gold Coast, a place I'd never even heard of. But as I looked over at my wife, Jessica, sleeping peacefully in our bed, her hands were bare except for the wedding ring I'd given her. No new necklace graced her throat. No new earrings dangled from her lobes. The charge was 3 weeks old. The mystery of that missing piece of jewelry was a loose thread, and I had the sudden sickening urge to pull it, knowing it would unravel everything I had ever believed to be true. If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel. Tell us where you're from, and what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows. Our life in Chicago, in our Lincoln Park brownstone, was supposed to be perfect. I'm Michael. I worked in finance long hours, but it afforded us a life of comfort. Jessica was a curator at a small, upscale art gallery. She was beautiful, intelligent, and the envy of my friends. But for the last 6 months, a subtle chill had crept into our home. It started with her working late, gallery events she called them. Then came the guarded phone calls, the way she'd angle her screen away from me, the slight flinch when I'd wrap my arms around her from behind. I'd tried to bring it up, but she was a master of deflection. "Don't be so insecure, Michael," she'd say, her voice laced with a cool annoyance that made me feel small and foolish. I was humiliated into silence, questioning my own sanity. Was I just being paranoid? The jewelry store charge was the first piece of concrete evidence. I started digging, not with anger, but with a cold, surgical precision I didn't know I possessed. I opened a new credit card in my name only and began meticulously documenting our shared finances. I found other discrepancies: lavish dinners for two at Alinea and Gibson S-Bar and Steakhouse on nights she was supposedly at a work function. A hotel charge at the Langham, right on the Chicago River. For a weekend she claimed she was at a gallery retreat in Michigan. Each discovery was a fresh stab to the heart. The woman I loved was living a double life funded by our joint account. She became colder, more manipulative. She'd pick fights over nothing, accusing me of being distant, of not trusting her. It was a calculated campaign to paint me as the villain, to justify her own betrayals in her mind. The villains, her and this faceless man, felt untouchable, wrapped in their cocoon of lies, while I was the one left shivering in the cold. The breaking point came on a Tuesday. I came home early, hoping to surprise her. I found her in our living room, on the phone, her back to the door. Her voice was different, soft, intimate, a voice I hadn't heard directed at me in years. "I miss you too, David," she purred. "No, Michael has no idea. He's completely oblivious." Then she laughed, a light, carefree sound that shattered what was left of my heart. "I'll see you Friday. I'll tell him I have another work dinner." I backed away silently, my breath caught in my throat. I stumbled out the front door and walked for hours along the lakefront, the icy November wind whipping at my face, but I felt nothing. The pain was all on the inside, a hollow, echoing void where my love for her used to be. That night, sitting in my car in a dark parking garage on Lower Wacker Drive, I broke down. Sobs racked my body, guttural sounds of a man whose world had been utterly destroyed. But as the tears subsided, something else took their place: ice. From that moment on, the grief was gone, replaced by a singular, burning purpose: revenge. I wasn't just going to leave her. I was going to dismantle her life with the same meticulous care she used to build her web of lies. I hired the best private investigator in Chicago, a grizzled ex-cop who specialized in matrimonial cases. For 2 months, he followed her. We gathered everything: photos of her and David, a smug-looking real estate developer, kissing outside the Langham, holding hands on Oak Street, entering his high-rise condo on Lakeshore Drive. We got copies of hotel receipts, dinner bills, even a photo of the very necklace she'd bought with our money, sparkling around her neck as she dined with him. I learned that David was married to a woman from a prominent Chicago family. This was better than I could have hoped. The trap was set. Our 10th anniversary was approaching. Jessica, in her breathtaking arrogance, suggested we host a massive party at our home. It was the perfect stage, I agreed enthusiastically, playing the part of the doting, oblivious husband. I invited all our friends, our family, and most importantly, I found a way to get an invitation to David's wife under the guise of a potential gallery collaboration. I told Jessica I had a special surprise for her, a video montage of our 10 years together. She loved the idea, her eyes gleaming at the thought of more public adoration. The day of the party, our house was filled with laughter and champagne. Jessica was radiant, floating through the crowd, accepting congratulations. David was there, of course, lurking in the background with that self-satisfied smirk. At 9 p.m., I gathered everyone in the living room. I stood by the large projection screen, microphone in hand. "Thank you all for coming," I began, my voice steady. 10 years. It's a long time. "Jessica, my love, I wanted to do something special for you." I looked at her and she smiled. A perfect, practiced smile. "I've put together a little film, a tribute to our marriage and to honesty." I pressed play. The video started with photos of our wedding, happy memories, set to soft music. Then the music cut abruptly. The screen went black. New title appeared, A Tribute to Honesty. The first image was the bank statement, the jewelry store charge circled in red. A photo of Jessica wearing the necklace, laughing with David, flashed next to it. The room went silent. Then came the photos. Dozens of them. Jessica and David outside the hotel, kissing in his car. The receipts, the dates, the times. I had overlaid audio from the PI's recordings, her sweet voice talking to David, her cold, dismissive voice talking to me. The final image was a close-up of them, entering his condo. The date stamp showing the night of my father's funeral, a night she told me she had to work. A collective gasp filled the room. Jessica's face was a mask of horror, her skin ashen. David looked like a cornered animal. His wife, a formidable woman in a Chanel suit, stared at the screen, then at her husband, her expression turning to stone. People started whispering, backing away from Jessica as if she were contagious. Her parents stared at her, their faces a mixture of shame and disbelief. It was a social execution. The next day, my lawyer filed for divorce, citing adultery with a mountain of evidence. I also sent an anonymous package to the board of David S. Company and to the city's biggest real estate blogs. His wife filed for divorce the same day, and her family's lawyers were ruthless. His career and reputation were left in smoldering ruins. Jessica was ruined. She lost her job, her friends, her family's respect, and in the divorce, she got nothing but her own clothes and the debt she'd racked up on her secret credit cards. The last time I saw her, she was leaving the courtroom, her face pale and drawn. The arrogance was gone, replaced by a hollow emptiness. She looked at me, her eyes pleading, but there was nothing left in me for her. No anger, no love, not even pity. Just a vast, quiet emptiness. Our house sold quickly. I moved into a sterile, modern apartment downtown with a view of the city lights I once thought were romantic. Sometimes at night I look out at the endless grid of light and shadow and I think about the cost of secrets. My revenge was total, my victory absolute. But it brought no celebration, no joy. It only brought silence. The silence is the loudest sound in the world. The end.